Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're on a GLP-1 and the scale is just not moving or it's moving more slowly than you expected it to, hopefully this video will give you some insight. Because when I first started a GLP-1, I thought the process was going to be pretty straightforward. I do the shots, I eat less, and I lose weight, right? But what actually happened is some weeks the scale moved, some weeks the scale didn't move at all, and some weeks the scale went up. And I started thinking, or like you start to think to yourself, is this not working? Is it worth it? But here's what I've learned, and this is what I wanted to share with you. A stalled scale does not mean your GLP-1 is not working. So in this video, I want to break down the real reasons why you might not be losing weight, even though you think you're doing everything right. So stick with me through the end. Of course, I have my Simple Modern tumbler here with my water, and let's get into it. So one of the biggest mistakes I made early on is not eating enough protein. And I am still guilty of this to this day. I was guilty of this before I started on my GLP-1 journey. I just am not a big eater of protein. I am a snacker. So I had to find a lot of snacks that had sneakily added protein in, and I will link that video wherever it goes, of some protein snacks that I found on Amazon that I actually have gone through and done a reorder of some of those. And the GLP-1s, they suppress your appetite even further, which sounds great until you realize you're barely eating. And when you're not eating enough protein, you don't just lose the fat, you lose muscle too, which is not good. And then what happens is that your metabolism slows down and then your weight loss stalls completely. So even if you're eating less, you might not be losing weight efficiently, you could be losing muscle too. And now I definitely try to prioritize protein first, especially if I am not that hungry. I'll just do a protein shake, or I will find one of my protein snacks to eat instead of like a full meal if I don't want chicken, blah, blah, blah. Chicken, vegetable, starch, that type of a whole meal experience. And what leads into that is my next point, which is not eating enough in general. Eating too little in general can slow your progress too, because when your body doesn't get enough fuel, it shifts into like a conservative state. So when that happens, you might feel cold or tired or just low energy, and then you're going to see that come through as stalled weight loss. And in this sense, your body is just trying to protect itself or preserve itself because you're not giving it the energy that it needs. So if you're barely eating all day, this might be one of the problems that you should look into. Another thing is dehydration. I'll say it time and time again. I'll mention it in every video forever moving forward. Hydration is number one. The GLP-1s, they not only reduce your hunger cues, they reduce your thirst cues as well, which is why my tumbler, I keep it on me at all times, 24/7. I even bring it in the bathroom with me when I go to take a shower. Because a lot of people think that they're hydrated, but you're really not. And I'll notice it when I haven't been drinking enough. I start to get a headache throughout the day, and I'm like, I try to drink one of those, it's 40 ounces. I try and drink 2 a day. If I haven't had one full like run through or whatever you want to call it by lunchtime and refilled it, I know already I haven't been drinking enough during that day. So you're going to feel the headaches, you're going to feel fatigue, and you're going to get constipated because hydration helps with that too. And your body is actually going to start retaining water. Yes, water retention, because your body is trying to hold on to any water that you put in if you're not drinking enough. So what you see on the scale you might actually be losing fat or losing weight, but the scale isn't moving because your body's holding on to the water. Now, the next section is about stress and hormones. Now, I know it goes without saying, everyone's like, oh, just have less stress in your life, you'll lose weight. Okay, easier said than done. Like, we live in 2026. What are you talking about, less stress? But when your stress is high, your weight loss can stall. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. So cortisol, which is like the stress hormone, it makes your body hold on to the weight. And this shows up a lot when you're not sleeping well, you're overwhelmed, or you're just doing too much. And I've had weeks where I thought I was doing everything right, but my sleep was horrible because we were trying to train our daughter to sleep in her big girl bed instead of her crib. Or it was that time of the month, so your hormones come into play with the scale. Also, I've noticed when I do if I do intense workouts, which I really don't try to do anymore just because of my joints, but the if the intensity level of the workout is too high, I feel like, well, not only do I feel burnt out and just tired and I just want to lay down the rest of the day, I actually don't lose weight. I'm losing more weight doing consistent weight training. I have a rebounder now, so I've been jumping around every day and just kind of like keeping it low key with Pilates and stretching. That also helps with calming my mind and feeling less stressed. Another important piece of this is your dose. The GLP-1s are titrated up slowly for a reason. And if you are just starting on your GLP-1 journey, like the first month, you have to give yourself grace. Like you're not going to lose 50 pounds in 1 month, especially when you're starting out. You're not at the therapeutic level yet. And again, this doesn't mean that it's not working, but you have to be patient and let your body adjust to those therapeutic levels. And then I promise you'll see the weight come off. And the last piece, I think I talked about this for an entire video and I'll link it up above. You're relying on the scale too much for your progress. This is kind of one of the bigger mindset shifts that I think GLP-1 people need to make, because we probably spent our entire lives just looking at the number on the scale. But there are so many other like non-scale victories that you really should be paying attention to and really should be celebrating. Because when you're on a GLP-1, other things are happening. Your inflammation is going down. Your digestion is changing, probably for the better. Your habits are improving, which is amazing. And that food noise is being dialed down when you've probably had food noise for like your entire life. At least that's the case in my case. But the scale doesn't show any of that. So when you think that nothing is happening, actually everything is changing. And so here's what I pay attention to instead. My hunger levels, my level of food noise. I focus now on portion control and my energy levels, and if I'm having any sort of cravings, and also if I'm staying consistent. And it's not just about having perfect days every day. It's really, I even take it like week by week, like how good can I be this week? Even if, okay, say I had a craving for Wendy's and I ordered it for dinner. Okay, so that day is kind of, you know, it spiraled. Let's just say that day spiraled. But then the next day, you wake up, it's fresh, it's another day, and I try and be consistent that day instead. And then you just keep the ball rolling from there. You don't keep the ball rolling in a negative way saying, oh, well, I had Wendy's last night, guess, I'm going to go to IHOP for breakfast or have pancakes for breakfast. No, get back into it. You fulfilled your craving, or this is what I say to myself. I fulfilled the craving that I had, and now hop back into it and be good for the rest of the week. Because before the GLP-1, I would have that bad spiral. I would have Wendy's and then I'd say, you know what? Well, yesterday was a wash. Why not today too? But the thing is, the GLP-1s is a tool, right? So when these habits, you start building these good habits, that is the change that you need to be paying attention to, rather than mostly focusing on the numbers on the scale. So what I want you to take away from this video is that if you're not losing weight, please do not panic. And I think one of my recent videos, I literally said, don't panic. Because most of the time, a weight stall is not failure. It's your body giving you information, and you need to start picking apart your habits or what you're doing in your life to kind of tweak and make small refinements or small improvements, and it'll get you right on the right track again. So save this video so you can come back to it when you start overthinking, because we all do it. Give this video a like if it helped you in any way at all, and it definitely helps my videos reach other people on their GLP-1 or weight loss journeys too. I am trying to build like a really good, positive, encouraging community here. So let me know in the comments what has been the most frustrating part of your GLP-1 or your weight loss journey so far, because I'm sure we all pretty much have the same frustrations, I'm sure of it, and we can all commiserate together a little bit. And subscribe to see my future videos. I do have some fun stuff lined up, and I really enjoy making these videos, and if you are here watching for the first time, I've been on my GLP-1 journey for about 2.5 years now. My husband is a pharmacist, my brother-in-law is a doctor, so I do kind of have like that medical aspect, whispering in my ears, and I can take their advice and regurgitate it to you guys in like normal talk. So yeah, stay tuned for more videos, and I will see you in the next one.